to another video. This time I'm going to show you how I do the flipped out granny square. I start with chain 4, slip stitch in the first chain to join, chain 3, which equals the first double crochet of the round, then work 2 double crochet into the round, into the ring, chain 2 to make a corner, three double crochet, chain 2 to make the next corner, and work that until you have 4 sides. Okay, I've worked all but the last 2 stitches. I've worked 3 double crochets separated by chain 2 4 times, except I've left off the last double crochet, and here's why. We're going to do what I call a color change knot. I'm going to lay that down with the hook in the loop, pull on the loop so that it's kind of snug, not real tight. Then I take my tape measure, and because I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook, I'm going to cut this yarn to an 8-inch length. Let me see if I can get that all on the camera. 8 inches from the loop that's on the hook. Then I will cut that in preparation to start the next color. So I am giving myself an 8-inch length to continue the rest of that round. And this is where I introduce the next color. In this case, I'm going to use turquoise. And what I do is I hold the 2 strands aiming in opposite directions, like they are 2 trains passing each other in the night, going a different direction. I use the old yarn to tie the first knot. I wrap the yarn completely around, not just the new yarn, but also the old yarn, and then poke the end in that loop and give it a tug so that I have about a 1-inch length of the old yarn. Then I go over to this part and I take the new yarn and wrap it also around both itself and the old yarn. I poke that end down into that loop and pull on it. Then I pull on both strands of yarn until the 2 knots become snug up against each other. Then I cut off the short ends very close to the knot. And that is how you make a color change knot. So to finish round 1, I will do 1 more double crochet in the ring, and then I will do a half double crochet into the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3, which causes the new color to end up on my hook. So there's the knot, and we are going to cover that knot with the new color when we get around to the other side. Now, instead of continuing on in the direction of flow, I've discovered that I like the way my squares look if I change direction and flip them and go the other direction. So what I did was I removed my hook from the loop, and I'm turning the piece clockwise. I'm reinserting my hook back into the same loop, snug it down just a little bit. I'm not doing a chain one. Instead, I'm making a single crochet in that same chain, that same half double crochet space that I just made, the corner space. So I work a single crochet, and then I'm stacking another single crochet on top of it. So I insert my hook in just the left loop, the left leg of the first single crochet, and work another single crochet. So let me do that again. Okay, I've just completed the color change, which ends round 1. I don't chain 1. I take out my hook, I turn the piece clockwise, I reinsert my hook in that same loop, snug it down just a little bit, do not chain 1, work a single crochet in that same space that I just made with the half double crochet, then make a stacked single crochet. So on top of the first single crochet I make another one, and so I insert my hook in the leftmost strand of the front of the single crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops, and that is a stacked, it's 2 stacked single crochets, which equals the first double crochet of this round. Then I work another double crochet into that same space, and that's the last part of the corner. We're going to go all the way around and then finish that corner last. So then I work a double crochet into every stitch, and because I'm going back the other direction, I'm working into the backs of the stitches. And when you're working into the backs of a stitch, the loop that you're working into is on the other side of the post of the stitch from the way you normally do it. So we're working into the loop that's just a slight bit to the left of the post because I'm a right-handed crocheter. Hope that's not too confusing. Okay, so I have now done 1 single crochet in each stitch on the side, and I'm going to work a corner, which is 2 double crochet stitches. Chain 2, 2 double crochet stitches in the same corner. Okay, so I've got one side finished, and I will continue on around and show you what comes next. Okay, I'm almost to the end of round 2, and I just want to show you how this part looks. I have saved the last double crochet of that one side so that you can see where I'm working it. I'm working it into the same location where we did the original half double crochet that ended round 1. Okay, now I will work one double crochet into the corner space, and then it's time to make another color change. So I will repeat the same process. 8 inches from the loop on the hook, cut the yarn, grab the next color, make sure the ends are aiming in the opposite direction of each other, take the old yarn, wrap it around not just the new yarn but also itself. Poke the end down into that loop, pull on the end, make a nice tight knot. Then onto this side, the new yarn, wrapped it around itself and the old yarn, made a loop. I'm poking the end down into that loop and making a nice tight knot. Now I grab the two ends, or the two working yarn, not the ends actually, and I'm pulling until the two knots butt up against each other. Then I cut the yarn close to the knot. Throw away my very short pieces. There I have the joined knot. Now, whoops, my last double crochet came out. So I work one double crochet in the corner, a second double crochet in the corner, and a half double crochet in the top single crochet of the stacked single crochet stitches. So I'm working under the two strands on that single crochet that sits on top of the other one, and there I've completed round 2. And can you see where the knot was? Nope, it's very well hidden. And we'll continue on and hide this knot under the stitches that we're going to work into that corner, and we'll just keep expanding out and doing that same thing. And when we're finished, we only have this end to weave in and whatever is the last round to weave in. So this method saves a lot of weaving in ends. And I want to tell you that these are called fisherman's knots, and they're very sturdy. I once, when I was testing out this fisherman's knot idea, I made a dishcloth. Actually, it was a dish scrubber. I made it out of the same acrylic yarn. And I made color changes all the way up and down throughout the whole dishcloth with this same fisherman's knot. And I used that dishcloth to wash my dishes, to scrub my dishes, including pots and pans, for about 5 months, every day, several times a day, and the knots never came loose. Thank you for watching. Is the finished 12-inch square that's made using the same technique, and I'm trying to figure out where the joined corners are. See if you can help me figure out where the joined corners are. You know, I actually think it's this line right here. I think these are the joined corners. But do you notice how nice it looks? It's so nice looking that you can barely see it. And the entire square has a very nice appearance, even though you've turned and worked on the back every other row. When you're working with lots of bright colors, things like whether or not you're looking at the back or the front of a row really don't make any difference. If I were working all in a single color, then I might want to continue working on the front of the piece all around, but the problem with that is you get the swirling corners, whereas this piece has very straight edges, no swirling in the corners. really like this method. Thank you.